don't you say nothing, Dub. I know you about to say something. Don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. Yeah. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast coming up next. We got Dynamite Jackson. Damien Jackson's in the building. We gonna talk that talk coming up next.
Your mindset heading into Sunday.
We didn't come here to play games. We are the champions.
Yeah.
And nobody, I mean nobody, is taking these belts from us.
You want the best? You're looking at her. This ain't just a sport, it's a lifestyle. Welcome to the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast. We are the champions of wrestling talk.
This is the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, your home for real pro wrestling talk.
Damien Jackson is in the building. The superstar is up next on Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle, and the energy is absolutely off the charts. Now, here's your host for Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, the insightful Escott Bars, wrestling media in the dynamic salute, Darkwing Dub.
Yeah, we back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more content. Sorry for the technical difficulties, you know. You know what I mean? It's been a long day. Hey, don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. Don't you say. Hey.
Oh, I was about to get you, bro.
I know you was. Special guest Damien Jackson is in the building. Let's give a round of applause. Yeah. How do we start off? So
First off, I want to know. Hold on. I want to know about these nicknames. These nicknames: panty dropper, showstopper, troublemaker, risk taker. Come on. Dive into that a little bit for us.
I will say, self-proclaimed. Every single one of them is true. Every single last one of them is true. Simple as that.
Now, it sounds like you a bit of a player. You got.
I will admit,
go ahead.
those days are behind me. But everything else in there.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. I had to ask that one first. I had to get that one out of the way because the other day I was looking and I'm like, all right. I'm gonna lead off with that one. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, I wanted to start off with your origin story. And I also know, too, that you have a rivalry with somebody as well. So I want to lead off with this origin story into the rivalry. So I want to know what brought you to professional wrestling?
Okay. For starters, I've been into wrestling my entire life. My dad, as soon as I was born, in fact, I'll tell you this. Before I was born, I want to say it was 2000. I was born in 2001. Mom and my dad, when my mom was still pregnant, they went to SummerSlam 2000. I believe they was in Raleigh. And, you know, obviously after I was born, you know, my dad being a big fan, I just been put in front of wrestling my entire life. So jumping off of bunk beds, you know, wrestling all the kids in the neighborhood, doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, like all, you know, the whole nine, like, and then getting into wrestling. started out with my cousin AC. So I was looking for professional wrestling schools, and a lot of the ones I was looking up, AML, Firestar, those were like very far at the time. I didn't have my own car. I was still, I want to say, let's see, that was 2021. So I was probably 20 at the time. Uh, so my dad, who was actually friends with Chili Willie from ECW, took me with a guy that had a ring, and AC was there, and I was like, wow, like small world, you know what I mean? So day in and day out, there's been a lot of guys that come through there and left, but a lot of the times it was just me and AC in there every night, just wrestling each other, wrestling by ourselves sometimes. Like I said, people are going in and out all the time. Either they can't handle it or whatever the case may be. But for the majority of me coming up, it was just me and AC, just banging every day.
So was that would you consider you and AC like rivals like in the sport or just competitive in a competitive nature or whatever?
Um, we've been going through a little ups and downs recently. I mean, we're a tag team right now, so you know, see that going away anytime soon. But but yeah, like I said, we pulled a couple pranks on each other recently. Him leaving me to fend for myself. I tried to do the same. My heart just wasn't in it, and I had to come in for him. But yeah, so and on that topic, this Saturday, December 13th, and I believe we will be in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the DCW Asylum, and we will be defending the DCW Tag Team Championships against the Dawsons. This will be our third match with the Dawsons, so hopefully, as big of a name and as big of guys as they are, hopefully this will really like cement the legacy that is Pure Temptation. You know what I mean? Like that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, that's what. So you said DCW, so that's Dominant Championship Wrestling, correct? Okay,
Third,
all
yes.
right, all right, all right. Shout out to Nemesis. Shout out to Nemesis. Yeah. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Yeah. So being that you were basically born into the business, right? What would you consider your in-ring style? Would it be like a intense, brawler type, high flyer, or meshed of both, hybrid? What would you consider your style?
Hmm. Right now, I'm definitely floating in the area of high flying and technical wrestling. I really love the technical aspect of it. And this is I was a child, I was jumping off of stuff. So I'm really, really, really excited to jump off the ropes and things of that nature. A lot of my moves are top rope moves, springboard moves. Uh, a lot of the things I like to do, especially in the beginning of my matches, is I like to wrestle. I like to test the other guy out. If it's an opponent that's probably on a higher level than me, get a little test out of myself. Um, but yeah, that's I think where I think I float at right now.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. What out of all the wrestlers that you've been in the ring with thus far, who would you say that you have learned the most from?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Um, Recently, um, oh man, I hate to say it because I hate his guts, but probably recently it would be Drew Hood.
Okay.
Um, the way his mind is for the business is like unlike anyone else that I've seen at the moment. But I would say, starting my career, I was very much tag team only. Like I said, I was wrestling with AC for like the majority of my career, and so um, I got my first I believe it was my first singles match. My first singles match against Rob Killjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Killjoy, man, bless that guy, man. He's awesome. But he like a big thing was like match structure that I took from him.
Mm-hmm.
Putting things where they need to be, where it makes sense. Do the cool moves, but you know what I mean. It still makes sense. Um, so yeah, early on, I would definitely say Rob Killjoy, but more recently, I would hate to say it, but it's Drew Hood.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So you have reinvented yourself multiple times. Which version of yourself would you say is the closest to the real you?
Definitely where I'm at now. I
Mm-hmm.
think I still have excuse me. I think I still have evolving to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I at least like to try to learn something new every day in this business, but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I still think I have some evolving to do. So, but right now, I think I'm definitely the most comfortable as myself. Definitely, definitely.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna pass it off to Dub. Go ahead, bro.
So we know that a lot of professional wrestlers come from an athletic background. Before you became a wrestler, what kind of athletic background did you have?
I in high school, I played football for a very small stint. I got tackled really bad and had like a stinger in my neck, so that got cut really short. I played basketball, rec league basketball for a little bit. I think that was also in high school. Uh, mm, I want to say that's it. I think I just played football and basketball. I really wish that I did wrestling in high school, but I'm be honest, that young, I was not into getting into the singlets. That was uh, but yeah, just football and basketball.
You mean you wasn't a fan? You wasn't a fan of those?
Yeah,
Trust me.
5 years later, I'm half naked again. So
Trust me. I know how you feel. Like I wasn't a fan of those because I actually wish I had gotten to high school wrestling, but my high school didn't have a wrestling team. We had football, we had basketball, we had baseball, and we had soccer. So I did the soccer, the football, and the basketball. But wrestling, I didn't even like really see a hint of it until I got into college, and even that was short lived because they didn't even last long for the wrestling team in college. So yeah, that's how I was
mm,
over there. But yeah, I find it weird because like you expect like especially the high schools of the day to have a wrestling team, and like back then where I was coming up, a lot of them didn't. I was just surprised. I was surprised,
mm.
but yeah. Go ahead, bro. My bad. I just was thinking about
No,
that.
no, you good because I was just thinking about what you were saying. Like, there's even some colleges, some big time colleges, that don't have a wrestling team.
Hmm.
Wrestling is not as big in the states as it is like places like Russia and places like that because that's like their sport outside of football slash soccer, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from is
Hmm.
whatever. But speaking on that, um, what what weight class would you have been in as a wrestler in high school?
Hmm. um, so I was in football. I got really big into um weightlifting because when we weren't on the field, we were in the weight room. Uh, and that was really really cool. Like, I wish I could have that back. Like, just all my boys just in the gym. You know what I mean? But but yeah, I don't know because I put on like a lot of muscle. I put on a lot of muscle. I don't know where I would have been. I would say now I'm at like 180, so maybe probably would have been at least 150, 160 maybe in high school. So I think yeah, I'll probably be floating around there. I don't know
So
what
with
it's, but
with saying all that, when you finally got to wrestling school, you're like, this is what I want to do.
mm,
How was it taking your first bump? And how I ask everybody this, how was it taking your first bump? And how was it the first time running the ropes?
I'm so glad you asked that. Taking my first bump, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know everybody probably has a way different answer than that, but it's almost like something you're born to do. You know what I mean? Like that's how I always felt about wrestling. So taking that first bump was like, oh, okay, I can still do this. Granted, I did feel it. That was a Sunday when I did like my tryout. So like I did start feeling it Tuesday, which that kind of sucked. But but yeah, the first bump was did not mind it at all. Um, and then running the ropes, I will say it was very difficult because there was stuff that I had to unlearn and stuff that I had to learn. Uh, especially with like footwork, because footwork is very important. uh if you trip up, you're done. You know what I mean? You fall and slip up, you're cooked. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that in the middle of the ring. So like the footwork is very important. So I think that's probably the greatest challenge that I had with running the ropes, at least.
So, what would you say to a 43-year-old guy who still wants to get in there and run the ropes and take bumps?
What would I say to him?
This guy.
Right, immediately. Before you do that.
You know why I asked you that question, right? He's referring it to me because I said that's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to wrestle, and that's why he throwing the question. He throwing it at me.
But it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
It's not. If you have the will, the mental fortitude, you can do anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, definitely, if you up there a little bit, just stretch before coming in because that's gonna help you in the long run.
I honestly speaking, like because I hoop because I still play ball. I'm still actively playing basketball. So like I feel like I'll be all right. The mental part, I feel like I'll be good. Not saying that, not saying that it won't. It won't be. It will be easy because I know it won't. But I feel like mentally, like I've been through a lot tougher things than that. So I think like I could be able to handle it. Um, I feel like I also feel like too like the toughest thing for me is probably learning how to fall. I think that's
Yeah.
going to be the toughest thing for me, like learning how to train myself to like, you know, fall on my back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think will be tough. I don't think that other stuff be that difficult. I think falling on my back and then getting the flexibility. I think that'll be another thing to my flexibility because I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but I'm still real mobile. But flexibility has never been my thing. So I know stretching. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably have to be stretching a lot. You know what I mean?
I know
Maybe
for tall guys, it's really hard
mhm,
because you're a lot further from the ground. How tall are
6'3".
you? You're tall, but you're not too tall. I don't think it'd be very difficult for you. It's not natural. I will say that. Like you're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to throw your body at the ground. You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely a mental block you got to get over before you can like, really become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me ask you this then, since we saying that, right? What what got you over that mental block as far as your bumps and things like that?
Mm. I was just thinking about this recently. I believe I just don't, and I really should, because I do a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't have any. Hold on. I think my cat's about to jump up here. Please don't. Please don't. No, please don't. Please don't. uh, I'm so sorry. Question, because this guy.
No, I said what was your challenge as far as the bumps when we was talking about the bumps? What
Oh, okay.
how did you get over that mental block as far as taking bumps and things like that and training your body to be like to say, hey, this is what I need you to do. Do it. How many times did you have to go through that?
So, like I said, this is probably something that I should have more of, but I think I don't have any. I don't have any bodily fear. Like I don't. I do a lot of flips, so like you've got to be really comfortable, like body control, things of that nature. So like I just think I just don't have fear. Like I have a lot of mind over matter. You know what I mean? Like that type of deal. To where like I just do it and I don't think about it.
Hmm.
Carpe diem, I think, is the phrase for that.
Hmm. I think mind over fear is important because in that type of sport, like we've always said, it's a gladiator sport. So like if you don't have the mental fortitude to like withstand the type of punishment that your body's going to take, then you're going to break easily. We've seen so many people just try to get into the craft of professional wrestling, from celebrities down to sports athletes, and most of them break. Very few survive. Prime example, look at Travis Scott. He didn't last long, did he?
There was probably a point for him where he was like, I don't think this is for me.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, and not for nothing, it's very demanding. It's very
Very,
demanding. If you gonna take the sport, you gotta take it serious. You gotta be all in. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not all in, then it's not gonna be for you. So I think when it comes to that, that's probably what hit him the hardest, because of the fact that he's a musician and then he tried to get into the sport of professional wrestling without understanding the demands that it takes as far as the training itself. Like I feel like the training itself is the hard part. The easy part is once you learn everything, getting in front of that camera and showcasing it. I feel like that's the easier part, because if you can't go through the training, you can't even get in front of the camera. You know?
you ain't lying on
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, for
It is
sure.
first things. At least I was told like pro wrestling training was, this is not a hobby. Like this is your life now. Like you know what I mean. So like you can't treat it like a hobby. This is, you got to be eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom with this. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's 24/7. It's got to be in your mind, because
Mm-hmm.
it's you can't take it lightly.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about people like I Show Speed, who have recently started his wrestling training? What do you think about that?
So my opinion, I think, in fact, I'll bring Logan Paul into it too. I think guys like I Show Speed and Logan Paul, they've, and even like Bad Bunny, like they put in time and they care. You know what I mean? So like, and you can see it obviously when they're working. You know what I mean? Like, man, before Logan Paul was wrestling, I was like, what is this dude doing in here? But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at least he proved me very wrong. He put in the time. Um, Everything that he does looks very smooth. He's super athletic, by the way. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the stuff he's, half the guys on WWE roster probably not even doing. You know what I mean? So like, it's just like, to differentiate people like that to like, let's just say the Travis Scotts, you just gotta put in effort and time and love, the blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like, if you don't put that in, it's gonna show,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. So I think that's just like, that's where I'm at with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with you. You know, if you don't put the time in, eventually something's gonna catch up with you, and it's gonna show. You know, I know for one thing, the worst thing that could possibly happen to you is a botch on camera that because of your least experience that you don't even know how to adjust and fix. How many times have we seen botches on camera where because of the least of experience from the athlete, they don't even know how to make the botch look good. They don't even know how to sell that. So yeah, I get it. I get it for real. Go ahead, bro.
So, saying all that, tell us or explain to us the hardest you've been hit in the ring.
Mm, man, probably me and AC's first tag match, and he's gonna hate me for messing this up. But I believe, oh man, I can't remember the team. It was so long ago, but I just remember one guy came in, hit me with something, and then, and I was super green. I was super green, didn't know, couldn't tell a knee from my elbow at the time, and he when he's telling it to me, he's like, "I'm coming," so like protect yourself. So the one guy hits me with something, and then he comes off springboard off the top rope. Enziguri cleans me so bad. I think I was supposed to get up and do something else, but AC comes to me and sees my eyes are like not focused, and one's looking this way and one's looking that way, and he just rolls me to the side. I was absolutely done after that. That was probably the hardest I've gotten hit because I don't remember too much after that.
Mm.
Did you finish the match?
Oh yeah, definitely finished the match. But definitely right after that was definitely foggy because I think I was supposed to do something, but I was not up for it. I could not get myself up for it. That kick, man, that kick smoked me. It put me down for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
So in cases like that, like because I know we've seen like in bigger terms, we've seen the Undertaker go through it in his match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and he said the same thing. So in cases like that, what do you do to try to get through the rest of the match?
Uh, Communication, and luckily it was a tag match, so like I said, AC was there to kind of help me out a little bit. Um, yeah, and I believe we had Unk there. Michael Devon was there, so if anything, he could have told me something too. As well as the ref. Like I said, just communication. Just and also that's on me too, because if I'm out and I'm not able to continue, I need to let somebody know. You know what I'm saying? The safety of everyone is first and foremost. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, yeah. And I believe I want to say AC did tell me something, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I could not tell you what it was. I was loopy.
So with all that being said, you said communication. Explain to us in the audience how important communication is in professional wrestling.
Very, very. Probably, if not number two. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously you got to know, do everything safe. You know what I'm saying? But like, that also goes with communication. Like, you got to tell the other guy, tell the ref, whoever it may be. Like, I don't know. I can't even put it into words. Like, you just got to talk. You just got to talk. Closed mouths don't get fed. So as long as you're just telling, like, letting someone know, hey, I can't do this no more. Hey, my arm's broke, or I can't stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple. It's really just that simple.
And one last thing on getting hit. How are you with taking chops? Like how would you react to a chop from somebody like a Gunther?
Man, thankfully I've never been chopped by Gunther. but if I were to assume, I think the hardest chop I've ever took was probably from Mark James. I want to say, uh, that guy is heavy-handed, but I don't know. I hopefully I can take it. You know what I mean? Hopefully I can give it back. Because I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you can take it and give it back, I mean, that's really all that matters. That's really all that matters. Because if I take it and I disintegrate into ash, I'm cooked. I'm done. You know what I mean?
He said disintegrate. So oh man, that's rough. If you take a chop and you disintegrate, that's rough. I can just imagine it in my head right now, like like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, just.
Oh, oh, oh man, that's that way to go.
Oh man, yeah, that is rough. That is rough.
That sounds terrible. I'm sitting here thinking about like getting chopped and then watching somebody just fall apart.
Yeah.
Just imagine like so we know Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match, and he's going against Gunther. Just to imagine if he
can't do him like that. You can't do him like that. No.
That's where I was going with it. That's exactly where I was going with it.
Yeah, yeah, that chop is gonna hurt Xena for a few years. That chop is gonna hurt Xena for a few years. Like
Gunther's gonna make him not want to come back. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely going to enjoy that ambassador role that he's going to be playing now, because that's his new job after stepping out of the ring. He's going to be a WWE ambassador. He just signed a 5-year deal. I don't know how much, I forgot, but he just signed a 5-year ambassador deal. So, yeah, that's a great way to audition for it. Yeah.
Have you real quick, Bars, my bad. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been in a death match? And if so, what do you feel about it?
Ooh, I'm too pretty to be in death matches. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm be very honest with you. Too pretty to be in death match. I've been in matches with weapons. I've been in ladder matches. I've been in DLC matches, doors, ladders, and chairs. I've been in a steel cage ladder match. As crazy as that sounds. But yeah, no, I don't think death matches. Not.
This man said he too pretty.
Right. My ear is too nice. My face is too pretty. Cannot do that.
You mean to tell me you wouldn't want to fight with a light tube or some barbed wire?
I'm maybe if there's like 6 extra zeros, I'm there. I'm there. But like that's the only conditions though. That's the only conditions.
Hey, I'm right with you, man. I'm not I like what, don't get me wrong. I like watching death matches for the entertainment purposes, but to ever participate in one, nah, I don't think I would want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick about that?
Go ahead.
Death matches ain't for black folk.
I mean, any black person, like seriously, because I don't know.
Swerve participated in a death match with a Texas death match. Matter of fact, with Hangman.
That's fair. Okay. But you're right though. It's not. I mean, other than maybe a couple other people. I mean, that's probably it.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I will go on and say that Swerve participated in a bunch of them. That wasn't his first death match. Even before even before his days in AEW, he's participated in death matches. like, you know, especially when in his CCW days, he participated in death matches. I remember seeing him in a few of them, and even when he was in Lucha Underground as Killshot, he participated in matches that were similar to a death match. I remember when he did this one thing. He was I believe he was going against Ricochet, who was Prince Puma at the time. Either it was Ricochet or it was uh he's in WWE now. He don't got the mask no more. You know who I'm talking about, Dub. He was the leader of Legado Fantasma.
Was that big guy?
No, he's
No.
talking about Escobar.
Yeah, Santos Escobar. So when he was in Lucha Underground, he was going under a different name. I forgot the name he was going under, but they had a match. I believe it was him. They had a match, and that match was similar to a death match. I forgot what, but I know all I remember was he went through some glass, and then I remember he did the same thing with what's his face. He wrestles in AEW now too. He actually AR Fox. He did the same thing with AR Fox. So
Right, you right.
so so yeah, nope, not for me. You know what I mean? And, Darby Allen does the same thing too. Not for me. He fell. Yo, this guy did a swan basically from the rafters and landed in glass. I
Man,
don't
that's a
care.
different type of guy right there.
I don't care if that was fake glass or not. That was wild. When I seen that, I was like, yeah, man, he's done. His career is over. That's why I said I was like, yeah, man, he's not getting up. And then he gets up, and I say, yeah, this guy's not normal. He's an alien.
Like seriously.
Have you ever been through anything like that before, where you might have took a bump like that or similar to it, and then people was like, yeah, that's it. It looked like they was about to throw up the X, and then you just got up and continued.
I've been put through a couple doors, but I will say it wasn't even a weapon. Someone cleaned me with a clothesline. Wham. And I think I landed on my neck or my head because immediately the ref came up to me and was like, "Hey, brother, are you good? Are you okay?" Because I think that's probably the worst one because anyone's ever I don't think anyone's ever checked on me to that extent ever, and that was like super early on.
Mm. Wow. That's another thing that I would be afraid of when wrestling is landing on my neck, landing wrong on my neck. Because you've seen it so many times when you take a suplex, you have to basically tuck your head so when you take the suplex, you landing you landing on your shoulders. You're not necessarily landing on the back of your neck. You're landing on your shoulders. Yeah, you ain't think I know that, Dub. See, you ain't think I know that, did you? You ain't think I know that. Yeah, but yeah, I do understand that you gotta tuck it like this, and then so when it happens, the shoulders take a brunt of the impact. But in a lot of cases, it happens so fast. By the time you tuck your chin and go back, you already done landed on your neck. So
Yeah.
you either got to have the traps of a Bobby Lashley or a Sheldon Benjamin, or you just got to be one of them guys that it has the durability of a Spike Dudley or a Jeff Hardy just to go through that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand totally. So, what have your walks through the curtain been like, as far as like your entrance? What
Oh,
emotions have you went through?
okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. Uh, Definitely in the beginning, when it was just myself. When I'm with AC, I can pretty much just feed off of him. Like whatever energy he's giving, I can pretty much replicate that. But
Mm-hmm.
but when I was by myself, like early on, I was very very nervous. Like the butterflies were like not going away. They were not going away. But now, getting more comfortable, I still get the butterflies, but coming through the curtain and feeling the energy, um, and being able to reciprocate that, um, definitely helps. Because recently, uh, being on my own, I've got a lot of people behind me, a lot more supporters. Um, but yeah, like I'm really loving. Like I just got some new music. I come out, I throw some punches. They're rocking with the punches. So yeah, that definitely helps me. Like the energy they give me, I just give it back.
Yeah, that's what's up. I hear people say all the time that they get goosebumps, they get chills when they go through that curtain and they hear the crowd rumbling, and it's just a different type of feel. So yeah, I understand the emotion, the adrenaline, things like that. I get it. So has there ever been a moment through your path of professional wrestling that you had to fight through something just to get through the match?
Mm. Last year, last year, South Carolina. I want to say it was September.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't exactly, I know, and I like to do top rope moves. I come off with a springboard. The guy slides right under me. I miss him, and instead of rolling properly, I rolled right on my shoulder, and I think my left shoulder. And I didn't pop anything. I didn't break anything, but it was definitely like sprained. I was definitely like the range of motion was clipped a little bit. Uh, but yeah, right after that, he gives me a Death Valley driver, and I think I'm supposed to make a tag after that. I think it was a 6-man tag. Um, but yeah, after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Like I can't. And even like I said, AC the communication, like uh, he comes in, and we're all supposed to take. They're all supposed to give us cutters. I don't get in the ring, so AC and I want to say it's Patterson, uh, Duke Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
They take the cutters, and I'm just laying on the ground, clutching my shoulder. Funny enough, that wasn't the only thing I did. That wasn't the end of my night. So we're supposed to come out during the main event and do a little beatdown on Don Furio, and I'm like a little taped up now, so like I'm kind of this it's kind of starting to swell. So like if I move it, I'm in a little bit of pain. I remember I turn around, I take a spine buster, and I was like, that was it. That was the that's the last thing I'm doing. I rolled out, and I was like, okay, time to go home. Time to go home.
Damn, that's rough. That's rough. So basically, you were already injured, but you had to come back out and finish whatever segment y'all had to go through, and then you ended up taking another bump on the previous bump that you already took that got you in the situation in the first place. Dang,
Yeah,
that is
and
rough.
I was like, they're like, you don't need to come back out. I was like, no. If AC goes out there by himself, then he's probably gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? Like, where's his tag team partner? So I sucked it. Going home. I'm going to shit. You know what I mean? That's it.
Did you have any other of your peers upset with you, like off of something like that? Because I know sometimes when things like that happens, it kind of throws off the match. So when any of your peers like, "Dang, what was you doing out there?" or something like that.
No, because obviously I was hurt, but I knew what I could do. So I just did what I needed to do and just got up out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't anything extensive. Like it was, and I get up out the way and they finish whatever business they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, thankfully I didn't hurt myself anymore because then they probably would have been mad at me. But but yeah, actually, in fact, after um I train at now I train at Firestar Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get and I've got like this like shoulder brace and like uh I'm like taped up. I've got like the KT tape and everything, and they're like, "Yo, are you good? Like, you know, you need to get that checked out." So like, there was a moment where like, not that they were upset, but they were definitely worried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, injuries. Injuries, that's one thing I feel like you can't dodge in professional wrestling. It's injuries. It comes with the sport. So yeah, I get it. I get it. Um, what separates yourself from the wrestlers, from all the other wrestlers? What separates you from them? Like, what do you do different from them, in your opinion?
Um, oh, that's a great question. Okay. I I would have to say, in a good way, I'm very unpredictable. Like at any time, I could bust something out, and no one sees it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially aerial moves. Like I've tried a lot of things. Like my finisher is a shooting star press, but I also do like the 450. I might have tried the spiral tap a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I there was one time that I tried the red arrow. Uh, but yeah, I think like the unpredictability of the being on the top rope, I think is what differentiates me from a lot of the other guys that I'm with.
Yeah, it's interesting. The reason why I asked is because a lot of high flyers they will have you know certain type of answers. So I wanted to get your opinion on how you would separate yourself from the pack of people that could possibly have a similar style or move set like yours. So that's why I asked. Um, well, matter of fact, go ahead, Dub. Go ahead, Dub. I'll wait until you get.
Excuse me.
What would you say to any person that's still, because we have you guys when we have you on the show, you tell your story, you tell everything that you've been through in the wrestling ring, but then you still got them knuckleheads out there that believe that, you know what, I don't believe it, wrestling's fake. Wrestling's this, there's nothing real about wrestling. I personally like to show pictures of guys like Sheamus and Drew McIntyre after being popped in the chest a few times, or when when Sheamus gets hit in the back with a kendo stick, his back all welts up and starts bleeding and stuff like that. I show pictures of that. What do you tell people that tell you that I don't care what you've gone through, wrestling's fake?
Man, first off, I want to say I've taken that kendo stick only one time. Man, that's like that brought me back to my childhood getting whooped by my parents. I'm be honest with you. That thing hurts. That thing hurts for real. Uh, but no, I think even though it's a different style, I would show them like Japanese wrestling because like there's a whole lot of contact. There's a whole lot of contact. So like I think it would be very hard for a casual fan or even someone who's not familiar with wrestling to say that that's fake. So I think showing them some Japanese wrestling, like uh, old school, like Mitsuharu Misawa, or like even Stan Hansen. I love Stan Hansen. When he throws up, when he pulls up that elbow pad, that thing's coming. You know what I mean? So I would probably show them things like that and be like, well, has your opinion changed? Or, because to me that's like I said, it's more contact. So I mean, it's a lot harder to you know there's not a lot of space in between the guys. You know, they're sticking each other for real.
It's crazy that you brought up Japan because I was going to ask you what are your 5-year and 10-year goals, considering that you're still a young man in the sport. What are your 5 and 10-year goals?
Um, Definitely a contract. To wear one of the big ones. I'll be honest. Um, and just getting better. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I need to learn. There's a lot of stuff that I need to work on. Um, but yeah, I mean, like literally just getting better, and hopefully that showing in someone of hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like someone seeing that and be like, oh, okay, we can use this guy. Like he's probably someone useful that is going to bring us a lot of money, or he's very talented, and we can help. You know what I mean? So like I'm hoping I get better and someone calls me up.
How would you feel about, because you brought him up, wrestling in Japan?
Mm. You know what? I was I think I'm gonna include that in the 5 to 10 year plan, because that's one of my first off, I would love to go to Japan regardless, but going there to wrestle, like being in the dojos, like that would be a dream come true. Like as you can already tell, I love Japanese wrestling, so getting to be over there and experience that type of training, that kind of conditioning, that type of work, and obviously the sights and the food, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, that would be a dream come true, honestly. Like that's definitely like, especially in my list of places that like I'd want to go, that's top one. That's top one.
I would encourage you to, if you haven't already, to go back in our archives and listen to our
I'll be
Odyssey
right back.
Jones interview.
I'll be right back.
Listen to our Odyssey Jones interview because he gets into depth on his time in Japan and how him, when once he got released from the WWE for the allegations,
Hmm.
him going to Japan was probably the single most important move that he made in his life.
Okay.
So I would definitely encourage everybody. If you haven't listened to our Odyssey Jones interview, it was, first off, it was fun. Dude is just like chill and laid back. But in your case, to listen to his story about being in Japan, because he's wrestling, I believe, in All Japan Pro Wrestling over there.
Okay.
So I would definitely encourage that. I mean, that also help our numbers too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, got you.
So, do you watch all wrestling promotions, or is there some you like more than others?
Mm, I'm not watching entire shows. I'm be honest with you. I've even kind of, just because I'm so busy, I don't even get to watch like Raw, SmackDown, and like AEW, those type of things. Like, uh, but I do have my ear very close to the streets for the independent wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, a lot of places that I haven't wrestled for, but that I love to wrestle for. Um, but yeah, I love all types of wrestling. Um, I'm a really big fan of Japanese, obviously, Joshi wrestling. Um, I'm just now, well, not just now, but like I've gotten really into like the European scene. I think a lot of those guys are great. Um, Mexico is cool. I think nothing's promised, but there might be an opportunity for a Mexico trip. But I'm gonna just leave that in the air for for now. Um, but yeah, like I love all types of wrestling. I love all wrestling.
So, what are your thoughts on the British strong style?
Um, I think they've got. It's a different style, but I think it comes back to like Japanese, to where like it's very snug. There's not a lot of space in between the guys, like, and they're very technical. Like wrestling, like pure wrestling, is very very prominent. Um, Zack Sabre Jr. is like my favorite example, because like he'll wrestle circles around the guy for like 8 minutes. You know what I mean? Put him in a pretzel, you can't do anything about it. So that type of stuff is like what I love to see. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm that's half of my game, is the technical aspect. So like, if I see something, I'm definitely gonna try it out.
I feel you. I feel you. So, what are your pros and cons of the WWE style, and then your pros and cons of the AEW style? Because I believe, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that may disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. WWE style is a lot different than the AEW style.
For sure.
So, what are your pros and cons of both styles? I know you say you don't get a chance to really, really sit down and watch it,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I will say I'd be pros and cons, but the way it was explained to me is like, just say for instance WWE, they're gonna be more worried about you hitting your time, because at the end of the day, that's entertainment, that's TV. You can have whatever match you want, but as long as it's time, everything's gonna be okay. For AEW, um, they're more okay. I'm gonna put on a great match, and that's the end of it. Like, I'm gonna put on the best match that I can every night, every week, and you know, and you go from there. Like, there's not a lot of. I'm not gonna say there's not any strictness or, like formality or anything. I'm sure they have times, obviously, but the way it was explained to me is AEW, go have a great match. WWE, please be on the time.
I brought that up to ask you. Follow up is, where do you see yourself fitting the best?
Mm, okay. Um. So WWE wants you to hit your times. Me personally, I would like to have the greatest match I could possibly can. So if it came down to it and I had the choice, it would definitely be AEW. I think that style suits me a lot better. Um, I think there's a little bit more freedom, because, like I said, like, that's what Tony Khan's all about. Like, he just wants you to go out there and do great, do absolutely fantastic, and he's not gonna have a problem. So I think AEW with their style, just going out there, being hard hitting, great match, have the people into it. I think um that overrides uh what I would like to do in the ring. Like, that's more my style. I want to entertain everyone. So as long as I get to do that with whatever parameters I have, that's all that I got.
Now, do you see that changing just a tad bit? Not a lot, not a lot, because we know WWE is that old man that's stuck in its ways, right? And you got AEW, that's the young buck that's willing to just go out there and do any and everything to put on a show, right? But if you look at NXT, where we're seeing more risk taking, i.e., Javon Evans, Leon Slater. I know he's in TNA, but he's been on WWE TV a lot. Would you fit? Who? Okay, I take that back. Explain how a match would go between Damien Jackson
Mm.
and Javon Evans.
Oh, wow.
Mind you, it's WWE style. So how would you guys incorporate what you guys do best to fit the WWE mold? And
Okay.
then I'll take it a step further. I'll move it to AEW and pair Damian Jackson with Ricochet.
Man, these are dream matches, by the way. These are dream matches. I don't think I ever got to wrestle Evans when he was still on the Indies, so and then Ricochet is like a guy that I look up to. This is awesome. uh um our match in NXT. Damian Jackson versus Javon Evans. I'm thinking he comes, that boy's bouncy, gives me the little Hurricane Rana gimmick. I come up, I drop kick him, they go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break, I got him in a chin lock. He gets out, he drop kicks me. He frog splashes me. I kick out commercial break. Back from commercial break.
I see what you're doing.
We come back from commercial break. I'm up. So I go to the top rope, shooting star press, 1, 2, 3. I just beat Javon Evans in about 12 minutes. Easy peasy.
With 4 commercial breaks in there.
These two. Then when we slide over to AEW, I'm gonna tell you straight up, me and Ricochet, me personally, I'm gonna be way too excited to have a match with him, so I'm gonna mess up everything. But I'm gonna try my best. He's gonna flip. I'm gonna flip. Hopefully everybody's happy. And he's the international champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of that match, we're having.
He is the national champion. He is the AEW national title holder.
Okay. Well, by the end of that match, we're having a new national champion. So Dynamite Jackson, new national champion after that one. After we do all the flips. Simple as that.
He's speaking it into existence. He's speaking it into existence. You heard him.
It.
He's speaking. Hey, Tony, if you're watching this right now,
let him know.
Book it. Book it.
So, who is Dynamite Jackson's biggest nemesis right now?
Mm.
I'm going somewhere with this.
It'd have to be Drew Hood. We recently had a 5-man. Yeah, I want to say it was a 5-man match. 5 or 6. I can't remember. Anyways, either 5 or 6. And already at this point, Drew Hood's been getting on my nerves. He's already attacked me with a chair a couple times. Stood on my neck, talked crazy in my face. And then after our match, Blade gets the win. And I'm still whooping Drew all the way to the back. We come back out to the ring. And he gets another chair. He does me again with the chair. Wraps the chair around my neck. Takes a swing with another chair. Takes my head clean off. Took me out of the next box car. And in fact, maybe the show after that one too. But yeah, anyway, I'm ready to get my get back on him. So Devil, if you're listening, I'm on that ass. I just want you to know that.
So, you've already kind of started it. My boy probably knows where I'm going with this because I like to stir the pot a little bit.
He does. He gave you that face.
So, Dynamite, let's hear you cut a promo on Drew Hood.
Okay. Okay. So Drew, I want you to know. I want you to know something. Just because you're the devil, I'm not gonna be listening to you. Okay. Everything you said to me in that ring with your foot on my neck, it resonated with me. It really did. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you said something about me being the voice, me being the heart of Firestar. Well, I never make claim to that. If they want to say that that's true, then my heart is gonna beat for Firestar, and I'm going to speak. I'm gonna yell for Firestar. And if that means that I get to get even any closer to you, that's all I need. That is all I need. Just watch your back, watch your mouth, and the next time you get in that ring and decide to talk crazy to anyone, not even just me, just know what comes around goes around.
I hope you heard that. Hey, the homie Damien Dynamite Jackson, he want all the smoke.
All of it.
He giving you the Shao Kahn laugh right now. Diabolical. Yeah.
Well, since you back from your coffee break, bro, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, had to go upstairs and check on the youngins real quick because I heard something, so I had to make sure they was good real quick, and then I get me a little coffee. But yeah. So being that said, let's talk about some stuff outside the ring. So outside the ring, what grounds you? What keeps Damien Jackson from burning out?
I like to work out. I'm doing more calisthenics than anything, like just push ups, sit ups, just things I could do with my body. Um, I love video games. Like, I like a good story game, something I can like kind of follow the story, and it just keeps me entertained, keeps me like I don't know the word for it, but just keeps me kind of like focused in. I can just like just watch it like a movie almost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and spending time with my girlfriend too. Like, she has been probably actually she is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm be honest with you, like solid as a rock. Just everything I ever asked for. But yeah, I'd pretty much uh I'd melt it down to those three things right there. Fitness, video games, my lovely girlfriend. Those keep me on the ground right there.
Speaking of that, how hard is it to keep a relationship as a professional wrestler? Because you have people that are in the business that are married, engaged, or have a girlfriend like yourself, or want to establish a relationship or have a life partner, but the timing is rough because of their scheduling. How do
Right.
you maintain that with your girl?
She's very understanding. I will say it was a little bit hard at first because like when we were ladies man a little bit, so like there was always the side eyes, you know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
but very understanding. Like when it comes to that type of thing, some some women, some mothers like to get a little touchy. So she always is sometimes in between. So, but no, for the most part, she's very understanding. You know what I mean? So she's made it very easy on me, so I can just focus on what I need to do and better myself.
Hmm. Yeah, because I've heard stories like sometimes it can be very hard, and not for nothing, if you don't have somebody that understands the business or is a part of the business or is just willing to let you do you, it's going to be kind of difficult. It's going to be kind of difficult, but you know, it's good to have somebody that you can maintain the balance with, without having to feel like, you're stretching yourself thin because you got to maintain your job and your stability, but at the same time you got to maintain the relationship. If there's somewhere you can find that common ground, then that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, just hearing you say that, I'm glad you said that because, I've heard otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Um, is there a championship that means more to you than the rest? And what does it symbolize?
Mm, that is a great question. That is a great question. Um, I think there would be two.
Okay.
Um, One would be the DCW North Carolina Prestige Championship.
Mm-hmm.
That is because when I had a match with Tim the Infinite Man, and man, that one was so close. It was so close, and it went to a time limit draw. But I know if I had those 10 extra seconds to get the pin, I, for a fact, I would have won that. And that title, especially after that, it just, for me, means that I belong. It means that I belong in the prestige division. It means I belong uh, as a talent on myself, that I can hold my own in the ring, especially with Tim. That was probably, as of recent memory, that was probably one of my greatest challenges in the. Um, so yeah, that means a lot to me. Just because how close I was to getting it, and not just getting it. You know what I mean? Um, and then the second one would be the Firestar Southeastern Championship, kind of for the same reason. I've never gone for that one, but I think that would definitely put me up in the rankings. You know what I mean? Like that would allow me to that would allow other people to see, oh, okay, he might be ready for the heavyweight title, or hey, maybe we can put this on him and he'll carry it like a champion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So um and that's not to say I'm not going for heavyweight titles. You know what I mean? I'm just using these as stepping stones. Not that they don't mean anything, but that the Intercontinental title, that's always the stepping stone to being the world heavyweight champion. So that's just how I see it. I know if I get that, I'm just one step ahead. I'm getting where I want to go.
Yeah. Do you feel as if the Intercontinental title holds the same prestige that it had, years and years ago? Because I know back in the day, and I keep trying to tell people this because, like, there's some people that seem to think that the Intercontinental title was never a high ranking title. You know what I'm saying? And like I remember I had this little argument with a faceless commenter on YouTube. Swear they know something about wrestling, really don't know jack shit. But you know what I'm saying? I just can't stand those faceless commenters, And I can't remember the episode that me and my bro was talking, but we were talking about the Intercontinental title. Matter of fact, nah, I remember now. It was our interview with Ahmed Johnson, and one of the commenters spoke about the Intercontinental title because Ahmed Johnson was the first black champion in WWF history. But he wasn't the first black WWF champion. He was the first black Intercontinental champion. And that's what Ahmed Johnson said. But you know how these commenters, they like real gun ho. They don't even listen to the whole interview. They just listen to bits and pieces of whatever they want to hear, and they just go right in. Yeah, it goes in one ear out the other. So he was speaking on the Intercontinental title, and uh, Ahmed was saying, and we was agreeing because it was true. The Intercontinental title was the stepping stone to the World Heavyweight title. You understand? And back then, especially in Ahmed's era, that title held a lot of prestige. In some cases, people could even say that it was more important than the world title because it was on TV so much. Like, of course, at that time, Hogan dominated that title. So you didn't see the world title on television that much. And if you did, it was a treat to see, the world title. But most of the time, you seen the Intercontinental title. Who would you see carry the Intercontinental? 99.9% of the time was Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? And especially in that era. So I was trying to explain to the brother that the Intercontinental title was just as important as the world title, if not more important, because it showcased the talent, the workhorse. It was like the workhorse title. Day in and day out, it showed the talent on TV. Because you never really got a chance to see the world title on TV as much as you seen the Intercontinental title. So the Intercontinental title was like the world title at that time. I mean, of course, now it doesn't hold as much prestige as it did 30 years ago. But, that's what I was trying to explain. So that's why I was asking you, do you feel that Intercontinental title holds the same weight that it held 30 years ago? Does it hold the same weight now?
I don't think. I think it's definitely the position it was 30 years ago and where it's at. I don't think it's the same, but I definitely think it's still on par. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the recent Intercontinental champions like Gunther, Sami Zayn, uh, Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, a lot of those guys have used that as the stepping stone to get to where they are now. You know what I mean? So like, definitely think it's less than. If anything, is probably about the same because, like you said, like the world title, at least if they're not wrestling, they're just on the show. You know what I mean? You're not gonna see the world champion wrestle too often, but the Intercontinental champion and the U.S. champion, they're the champions you're gonna see a lot more often, especially on TV. So I do. I definitely think it's still the workhorse title, especially like, and I'll bring it to the U.S. title, like Ilya, and even before Sami Zayn, and even before that, John Cena having the U.S. Open Challenge. I think that's like a great idea, a great opportunity, especially when John Cena was doing it. He's getting guys from NXT, and he's having matches with the newer guys coming in. It's getting a lot of spotlight on them, and the same with Sammy and Ilya. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's important to have that, and I think that's another reason why I would like to have a title like that, because then I could not only would I be seen more, but I feel like I would have the opportunity to be like, okay, I want this. Like, I would love to be able to choose my opponents, for the sake of getting them up as well. You know what I mean? So I just feel like not only putting myself up, but putting others up around me is very important, especially with titles like that.
Yeah. So being that you said that, right? So if you was to rebuild yourself, like start from scratch and rebuild yourself as a professional wrestler, what would you rebuild yourself as? And where would you take yourself if you had to start from scratch all over again? All over again. You had to rebuild your attributes, you had to do everything. What would you build yourself as, and where would you take yourself?
I get a lot of inspiration from Ricochet, AJ Styles, Will Ospreay, um, Paul London, uh,
Yeah.
a lot of from guys like that. So it would definitely be uh, maybe even the same as I am now because I get a lot of inspiration from those guys now. So I feel like probably an amalgamation of all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, I think if any way possible, I'm going straight to Japan. I'm going straight to Japan, learning all I can there, and I'm bringing it back to the States.
Yeah. And my bro could attest to this. I think Japan is probably one of the best learning trees as far as professional wrestling. Like a lot of people go to Japan and they come back and they totally different wrestler from what they was when they were in the States the first go around. It's the same thing with TNA. I don't know so much now, but I mean before the WWE acquisition, and I would say now still a little bit too, depending on who. When you would go to when you would get released from WWE and you will go to TNA, you'll come back to WWE a completely different wrestler. And a lot of times I don't know what it is about TNA as far as like their wrestling because like people like Naomi and a few others have went to TNA and they completely changed their whole repertoire. And when they came back to WWE, they're a completely different wrestler. So I kind of put them in the same bracket as whatever they're doing over there on under their learning tree. They're coming back. The wrestlers are coming back completely changed as far as their arsenal, as far as their everything. They're coming back completely changed. So I've always liked how New Japan does what they do. Not just New Japan, the promotion in general. There's other promotions in Japan too that are definitely fire. But considering New Japan is the biggest one out there, they're like the WWE to the Japan. But yeah, I always hear people say, Japan or even the UK. The UK. Do you see yourself going out to the UK?
Definitely, if the opportunity arises, most definitely, most definitely. Um, and I think to your point, like guys coming over from TNA in Japan, I think that's like just being around different minds and like having different opponents.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love wrestling different people because you not only excuse me, not only
You good?
you're gonna learn something new, but
Mm-hmm.
also you're in there and you have to almost adapt to their
Mm-hmm.
style. They're not gonna be moving the same way as a Dolph Ziggler is gonna be moving, or a Tommy Dreamer is gonna be moving. You know what I mean? Like so, like there's different type of styles that's like that's spread across these different promotions. So I think that's a big part of people coming back different, even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever they're doing with their athletes, it works. It works, because the guys that they have and they over there and they send them back, they always come back completely different. Completely different. Go ahead, Dub.
Yeah, I've already when you left to go get your coffee, I did uh, tell him, well, not tell him, asked him to go check out the Odyssey Jones interview because he gets into being over in Japan. Um, so, how did you get in touch with Nemesis to be part of dominant championship wrestling?
Mm. So at first it wasn't Nemesis. So at first, when Chili introduced me to the guy that his name was Dan Wright, and we don't do business with him anymore. But that was the guy that first trained me initially. Um, So yeah, that was my introduction. I met with him. I had like a small tryout. He saw me take my first bump, and like I said, I took it very well. So like he was like, well, we'll have you starting whatever day, whatever, you know what I mean? So uh yeah, and it was a barn. Man, this is so horrible. It was a barn in his backyard with a ring that his dad had made, all wooden, and it sucked to bump in because it was all wood. So in a regular ring where like it's mostly metal, uh the beams, it's not a trampoline, but the beams have a little bit of give to where like it'll kind of go with you a little bit. It's still gonna hurt, but that wood did not budge at all. So being in that ring sucked. It was very cold when it was cold. It was very hot when it was hot. But that's the good thing about training there is now I'm very comfortable in all kinds of conditions wrestling. So that's one good thing that I took out of there was, I've wrestled in the heat, I've wrestled in the freezing cold. So there's not much that can really deter me, you know what I mean, from being inside of a ring.
So, what attracted you to DCW?
That's pretty much my home. That's definitely my home. Like I said, it was Dan before. Then some things happened. Now I'm in charge, so I've been tag teaming with AC for a while. So we started out tag teaming there consistently. We are also, man, it took us so long to earn those tag team titles. But now we are currently the longest reigning DCW tag champs. I believe, let's see, I think August was a year, so about a year and some months into our reign. So I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I mean DCW's my home, like for you know, that's pretty much it. Um, uh, Uncle Mike definitely helped a lot. He was the one training with us. Um, he showed us a lot. Like I said, it was pretty much me and AC every week. If it wasn't anybody else in there, it was just me and AC uh, trying to get better. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much the start of all that, of DW and all that. I mean, we came from, if you could see our first show and our shows now, it's like a completely different production, completely different space. I mean, the vibes are different. Um, I mean, we look like $1,000,000 now. Like it's very, at least in my opinion, it's very like it's very what's it called? Intimate. Like our spaces are very intimate, so we're really close with everyone, and that's what I really like about it because that goes back to you can't really call this fake because I mean now you're really seeing it. You know what I mean? You're really seeing the hits. So yeah, I love DCW, by the way. I love DCW.
So, being that you're at DCW, have you heard any from Darius Lockhart about wrestling for Ashe?
Oh man, you know what's so funny about that? I have been I have been trying to go to an Ashe show for the longest time, ever since they first started doing their shows. But every time, every weekend, I'm either already booked, I'm busy, I just can't go, or just some other trouble. But I would absolutely. I mean, come on, I would love to go to an Ache show. You know what I mean? That's like that's definitely one of the places I would love to go that I haven't been to yet.
Well, you heard it. Boss man, Mr. Darius, Mr. Lockhart, whoever's over there, Caprice, somebody, holla at this man right here. Get him on the show. Call
Do
him.
you have a relationship with Caprice Coleman? Because I was looking at Firestar Pro Wrestling's roster, And Caprice Coleman is on that roster. Do you have a relationship with him?
Yes, we aren't super close, but I've definitely had conversations with him plenty of times. But yeah, I'm yeah, we've definitely talked sometimes. Oh yeah.
I mean, he is the commissioner over at Ashe. Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who I will be talking to for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. 'Cause we are pretty versed in Ashe. I mean, we keep up with it. We've recently had Nemesis on our show also, and we're going to be working closely with Nemesis too, and with you guys over here in DCW. You're actually the first wrestler that we've had on from DCW.
Oh, that's
Um,
all.
I Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Nemesis was gonna try to help us get more of you guys on there. We're gonna be covering the show that's coming up. We're gonna do a review on that show, so we're gonna be definitely watching you closely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, we retain the tag titles against the Dawsons. It's gonna be a tall task, but I mean, we beat them twice. I think we can do it again. So, oh yeah.
So since you're in a tag team, give me or
Mm,
us your Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestlers.
man, I feel like this is a no-brainer, but like now it's got me thinking so hard. I think definitely number one. Not even number one. There's no order, but Rock and Roll Express, because first off, me and AC, we've met Ricky Morton, and he to every time we see him, he's like, "Why don't you steal our stuff? Why don't you steal our stuff? Just take her moves." So he's definitely a big fan of us. Um, so yeah, I'll definitely say Rock and Roll Express. He we've got a lot of inspiration from them actually. So Rock and Roll Express up there. I would have to say bringing it up a little bit. I would say the Hardys. They were especially Jeff. I love Matt too, but I think especially Jeff because he was a high flyer. Had a lot of inspiration on me. Definitely a big imprint on me. Um, let's see. Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen are. I mean, you can't go wrong with Arn Anderson. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Tully. Uh, let's see. And I would have to go the last one. Oh man, maybe I think the Freebirds, because we also have had a lot of inspiration from the Freebirds. Um, so yeah. All the dancing, all the hip swivels, like we get. I mean, that's straight out of the P.S. Hayes textbook. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, I think that's my Mount Rushmore. Uh, Rock and Roll Express, the Hardys, Full Horsemen, and the Freebirds.
And you know what I find so cool about that is the fact that you know your history at that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
you could have easily be like, oh, we're gonna go with the Road Warriors. There's nothing wrong. I love the Road Warriors personally. They're in mine. But you could have gone with let's do more modern because you know most people would do more modern. Let's do the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Usos, and the Young Bucks. All great tag teams, but I like the fact that you know your history. For such a young guy, you
Mm-hmm.
know your history.
one thing
Excuse me.
early was not only the history of wrestling, but everyone is already outside of the box. But then it's like, what are you really getting? You need to learn the box so that then you can be able to go outside of it and do your own thing with it. Because if you don't know the box, then you're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. And you know, like I said, if like the boxes, it comes from generations and generations before. So it's important to learn that stuff so that you can use it and apply it in a current day way, and you know it still works.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's important that you know your history. You know, because a lot, not for nothing, but a lot of the moves that are being done today were created back then. Like the Rock and Roll Express did a lot of high flying moves that are popular today. But people never paid attention to the high flying moves from tag teams like that back in the day. I don't know what it was, but now all of a sudden they pay more attention to it. But I'm like, well, Rock and Roll Express was doing that already. The Rockers were doing that already. Talk about, the Canadian Destroyer. The originator was Petey Williams, or he at least was one. He was at least one of the originators. You know what I'm saying? And the more I think about it, I'm like, yo, there's a lot of moves that were made popular now, but the originators aren't getting enough credit for it. Another prime example, Too Cold Scorpio. Too Cold Scorpio was one of the illest high flyers in professional wrestling, especially in his run in ECW. Now, he had a short stint in WCW, and we talked about that when we interviewed Buff Bagwell, and we spoke briefly on that. But you never realize how good Too Cold Scorpio was until you go back and watch his classic matches. Like, this dude had a 5-star match against Chris Benoit. And don't nobody talk about that joint. Don't nobody talk about it. Nobody says anything. I'm like, yo, this dude had a crazy match with Benoit. Huh?
There might be a couple. There might be a couple reasons for that, but
yeah. Well, yeah. I know that. You know what I mean? Part self, but yeah, I know that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, now it's kind of like, I don't, I guess because recently they kind of opened the floodgates and allowed some things to be spoke about as far as Benoit. But you know what I mean? It's a shame because he definitely had a dope match with Benoit. And if you go into his ECW run, a lot of those moves that he did were innovative. Like, nobody was doing those moves yet. And not for nothing, too, he wasn't like he was a small guy neither. Dude was like at least 225, 230 solid, and he was moving like a cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But yeah, it's just funny you spoke on that because it definitely was true. Let's see here. I got something for you. So, let's talk about legacy. When the fans talk about your legacy years from now, what do you want them to say?
Man, I think above all else, I want to be one of the greatest. Simply put, I want to be. I'm already in the ring, training like at least twice a week, maybe 3 times, but I would love to be. Not that it's like a ego type of thing or like that's what I want to be left. I want to be left as the greatest. I want when my name leaves someone's mouth, I want that to be because I was a great professional wrestler, that I entertained people, that because I'll tell you now, my favorite wrestler was Eddie Guerrero. So you can imagine the impact that he had on me as a young kid. He was entertaining, like, all the traits of him. Like, that's what I would love to, I would love to live up to, or even be half as good at. You know what I mean? Because that's big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? But yeah, I say that to say I would love to be put in the category of just one of the best professional wrestlers. Simply put.
Yeah, not for nothing, and I know you trying to be modest and humble and everything, but wrestling is a self-boosting sport. So if you feel like talking your ish, go ahead and talk your ish, bro. Like, you ain't gotta hold back nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say whatever. If you feel like you the guy, then go ahead and say you the guy. Like, it don't even gotta, you know. you ain't gotta, you ain't gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we talking about a sport here where you cut promos, you get fans to either boo or cheer. You know what I'm saying? You're up in somebody's face 24/7 cutting a promo, and you telling them how great you are. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, talk your talk, man. Don't even.
Can't do it. That a lot of my peers say great things about me, but I can't I can't do that to myself. I don't know what it is. I know I'm good. I really don't like to talk about it. They're like, I don't like talking about myself. I will talk about myself, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, but I think there will come a day where I will be talking my ish, but it's just not now. There's a lot of things that I need to learn. There's a lot of things that I need to grow upon.
Mm-hmm.
That day comes, y'all call me back, talk my ish up here.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. I just, like, just, coming from a perspective of watching wrestling for so many years, I understand, like, wrestling is a alpha male sport. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the alpha males talk they ish. So, that's what I'm saying. If you are alpha, so if you feel like you gotta talk your ish and let them know that, you know what I mean, by all means, you could go right ahead and talk your ish. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
can't nobody do what I do. Can't nobody be as dazzling as me. And nobody brings the kaboom like I do. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, talk your talk. Talk your talk. No, that's you. That's you. That's not me. That's you. That's not me. I don't be stirring the pot. No, that's you. Nah. Nah, but all jokes aside though, it's good to see, you know, the confidence and the bravado, you know what I'm saying? Because that I feel like is what showcases the wrestler the most, whether you're a heel or you're a face. You know what I'm saying? Like like, not for nothing, you could be the worst wrestler on planet Earth, but if you got a good promo and you could get people to hate you and you got at least a teeny weeny bit of work in the ring, you go places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen me and my bro talked about it plenty of times. Like, we've seen the most average person, you know what I mean? But they just got such a great talking point as far as promos, and it took them all the way to the title. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. Like,
I'll give you my personal opinion on who I think is one.
go ahead.
He got promo for days. He can promo you to death, but I think he's just boring in the ring. But he is completely over with everybody. And his name is none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Oh, so
He
you,
will
so,
he will
go
promo you to death, but I think he's just average at best in the ring. That's my opinion though.
no, you know what it is. Since you say that, you know what it is, and I know you'll have your opinion too, Damien. But you know what I think it is about L.A. Knight is that when you get under the WWE umbrella, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things they cut out of your repertoire. And not for nothing, me and you spoke about this too. When he was in TNA, there's a lot of stuff he did in TNA that he can't do in WWE. Hell, when he was in NWA, there was stuff that he did in NWA that they would just not let him do in WWE. You know what I'm saying? It's like night and day. So I can't really hold too much against him as far as like what he does in the ring, because to me personally, I think he's phenomenal in the ring. I just think that WWE just won't let the cuffs off and just let him be who he is. Like they allowed him to do but so much. I mean, look at what's going on with him right now. Like they're kind of like burying him actually. I mean,
I wish they'd let him have the dummy button that he had in TNA.
oh
Now that
yeah,
was
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. That joint was hilarious. It's like dummy, yeah, dummy, dummy. Yo, that joint was funny. Every time somebody said something stupid, he'd be like, dummy, dummy, dummy. I remember he did it one time to I forgot who it was that he was on. I forgot the segment that he had. It was similar to what Chris Jericho had, and he was sitting there at the podium, and dude said something stupid. He was like, "Dummy, dummy," and they had a little laughing Eli Drake on the screen. That joint was hilarious. I was cracking up, man. But yeah, I just feel like that's kind of what they do, over there. So they're more they're more on, like we all know, they're more on the entertainment aspect as far as the wrestling. They really don't even call themselves a wrestling company like that. Honestly, they call themselves more entertainment based. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go to my last question and I'm gonna pass it off to my bro. Uh, I don't know if I think I asked you that question already, but I'm gonna go to this one. What is the next mountain Damian Jackson wants to climb?
Mm, double champ. Double champ. I have been tag team champion in West Virginia, APW. I've been tag team champion ESW, DCW, uh, AWL in South Carolina with multiple reigns. Um, so maybe I can keep the tag titles and go after another one. Add some gold to the waist. I'm thinking Dynamite 2 belts is where I'm heading to next. Yeah, maybe I have better luck on that on the second time going after the prestige title. Uh yeah, I'm thinking 2 belts. I'm thinking my bag gets a little heavier. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, okay. So we might see Eltimo Jackson one day, huh?
Third.
Yeah, that iconic picture is off the chain. My man was holding like 100 belts like this, like carrying them on both arms. I was like, damn, like.
All I needed to find like 10 girls to carry them all.
Remember Mercedes? She had like 10 dudes carrying her belts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you could just reverse it and have 10 girls carrying your belts.
For sure. You see the downfall of Mercedes too, because she just lost one of her belts on final, what was it? It was Ring of Honor event. I forgot what it's called. Final, is it called? It's not called Final Resolution. I forgot what it's called, but she just lost one of her belts to I forgot old girl's name, but she just lost one of her belts. So it's already started. So just to let y'all know. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Heel or babyface?
Mm. I love being a heel, but I don't know. There's something about when the crowd is behind you, when they're saying kaboom, trying to get me up. When I do a big move and there's a big reaction, like there's nothing else that beats that. But I love talking my ish though. Like I love talking smack. Like uh, that's so fun. That's very fun. uh, but if I had to 3 seconds on the clock and I had to choose, I'm gonna go babyface. Babyface. Definitely.
Singles or tag team?
Mm. Man, you put me in a tough spot right here because I've been teaming all my career, but now that I've been doing singles, I'm kind of like on getting into my own groove. You know what I mean? But I would have to say tag team because then I know ain't nobody stopping us. I know nobody's stopping us. We like this.
So there's an ongoing debate on this one. I want to hear your pitch since you're in a tag team now.
Mm.
Usos or Young Bucks?
Man, that's a great question. I think now, me personally, I think Young Bucks have cooler moves. I have way cooler moves. Um, but being under the WWE, so many title reigns the Usos have, I think that on paper, I think it puts them. I think it puts them higher. I think it definitely puts them higher uh, because of the consecutive work. Like you can argue the Young Bucks have been, they've been doing great in ROH. Excuse me, ROH, New Japan, uh, AEW even, but consecutive work, Jay and Jimmy for that matter. I think they definitely have it over the Young Bucks.
Okay, okay, okay. You're a high flyer. Will
Yes.
Osprey Ricochet?
Am I choosing?
Who would you choose? I have an idea who I think you would choose, but
I'm just getting into I'm in love with Will Ospreay's work right now. But I've always been a fan of Ricochet, man. Y'all tearing me apart right now. Man.
I'm gonna hit you with another one here in a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Ricochet. I'm gonna go Ricochet.
I had a feeling you was gonna say Ricochet because we talked about him earlier. All right. I got a couple more I'm gonna hit you with. All right. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio.
That's an easy one. No disrespect to Ray, greatest luchador of all time, but my GOAT personally is Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero all day with the lowrider.
Latino Heat.
You know what I mean? That's my guy.
Okay. Dom Mysterio or Rey Mysterio?
I got to go to a live event. Uh, I want to say this was last year or 2 years ago, and they were in, I want to say Raleigh, and this was when all the heat. I'm talking about Judgment Day came into the ring. I think Rhea said something, Damien said something, maybe Finn said something, and Dom gets on the mic and like I couldn't even hear myself think, yo. Like that was, as a wrestler, any reaction is a good reaction, and that reaction he had, man. If we're talking legacy, I mean it's obviously Rey Mysterio, but Dom is on his game right now. I'm going Dom. I'm definitely going Dom.
So you brought up a good point. There's been a lot of discussion, especially when he was really in the middle of getting all that heat.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were at a live event and you got to witness this. Explain to us what that was like, because I say that because there's a lot of discourse online, especially during that time, that people were believing that the WWE Triple H was piping all that noise in, but you were actually there.
Okay, so he gets the mic, they're already loud. He gets maybe 2 or 3 words off, they get louder. Like like I don't know anyone else. Maybe if I was alive in the '80s, maybe the Sheik, maybe like one of those guys, maybe got that kind of reaction. But my good, I've never heard any place like I felt it rumble. I felt the building rumble. I was on the floor too. We were on the floor. We were maybe like 8 rows back. We were behind where commentary would be, and I couldn't hear myself think. I tried to talk to a brother next to me. We couldn't even hear each other. Every time he tried to talk, it gets louder and louder and louder. I mean, like, you can't fake that type of heat. You can't fake that type of reaction. You could try, but I mean, that is organic in that what he was doing.
Y'all heard it first. A wrestler at that, who was actually there to witness the booze that Dom was getting at that time was all real and organic.
And you got to think this is a live show, so I mean, there's no way it's not on TV. So like, what do they need to pump in audio? You know what I mean? Like, there's no pyro stage. There's not even. There's probably not even any cameras in there, and they are not letting him talk at all. It was honestly, it was impressive. It was very impressive.
So just imagine what it's like a TV, whether if it's Raw, SmackDown, or PLE. Just imagine.
Man.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's do this. Undertaker or Sting?
Okay, I gotta put a disclaimer. I am not okay. So certain eras of Undertaker, I'm a fan of. When he comes back as Dead Man, maybe like 03, 04, around that era, I was not a big fan of anything past that other than his matches with Shawn. But Biker, Taker, you know what I mean? Even before that in the 90s, big fan of that Taker. But all around, I'm going Sting. Surfer Sting is awesome. That dude looks like, and like when you go back, and I've been recently watching WCW from the start. So like I'm seeing Sting's rise, and it's amazing to see. I honestly wish that I got to see that in real time, because I feel like he probably would have been my favorite wrestler, because he didn't do much, but what he did worked. You know what I mean? Like, man, like they're even going into uh the Crow gimmick. Like, that's when he really turned it up. He didn't say anything for like what was like a year. He comes in, the NW. He is the NWO's kryptonite. Like, that is like, as a fan at the time, like I imagine people were going crazy, jumping up out their seats. You know what I mean? Like, man, I think Sting, and even recently his AEW run, I think they handled that very, very well for the caliber of icon, if you will, for Sting. You know what I mean? Like, let him go out with the title on a win. I don't even think he lost very much, if at all. So I'm really happy with what they did with Sting at the end. But yeah, like, I'm going Sting all the way. Scorpion Death Drop, and the sharpshooter is not the sharpshooter. It is the the Scorpion Death Lock.
It's interesting that you say that. So, real quick. What was it about that version of the Undertaker that you didn't like outside of the matches with Shawn?
I felt like, and this is just me, like, his matches, and even I'll say this in the Attitude Era, because like I said, I've been kind of going back and watching, like, really I've been watching Monday Night Raw. Monday Night War is kind of like seeing, and I've been seeing why Raw was getting Raw was getting done up, but and I arguably would say, I mean, the entire roster, is kind of at fault for not, I feel like, putting their all into the product. The Undertaker main events, even after 2000s, they're very lackluster, no finishes, leaving a lot to be desired. Um, and you know, and I get it. Like you know, WrestleMania. That's his big like. That's his big thing. The streak, that was his thing, right? So like obviously at WrestleMania he's gonna put in the most effort. He's gonna put in 100%. But it feels like other than that, it was he wasn't giving it his all. At least my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair. So I'm gonna ask you this, and then if the homie down there got anything else to ask, I'll pass it to him because we end our show with one question in particular. But I'm gonna ask you this one first. We're all black
Mm.
on this show right now. How does the diversity within pro wrestling look to you right now?
Mm. That's a great question. That's a great question. I mentioned earlier I was a tag team champion in West Virginia. Uh, and to nobody's fault. I don't blame anyone for this. But every time we got there, we were like the only black guys, right? And then there was a couple occasions where there was one other black guy. Uh and that was just West Virginia. But I would say around here, it's a lot more diverse. I would say even probably percentage more to black people than probably anybody else. And I'm probably wrong, but that's just how that's just what I'm around. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So especially with Ashe like highlighting a lot of the African American wrestlers, like that just brings in and of itself a whole spotlight for everyone of color. So I definitely think around here it's very diverse. And I've been to Future Stars in Las Vegas one time, and their group of guys are very, very diverse. I had a conversation with this couple from France, and basically we got into a little convo, and they were like, the ceiling is so low in France, so like they had to move over here just to like get more work. So I was like, wow, like you know what I mean, like just like things like that, like they're like people coming over here just because like they just need more, and that just makes it more diverse. You know what I mean? So I think at least around me, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of guys that I wrestle with, um, there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of diversity around me. I will say in other places in other states, I can't say the same. Um, but yeah, around here in North Carolina, like it's very diverse, very diverse. It's a wrestling state.
Um, when you watch when you watch the WWE, Raw and SmackDown in particular, because I feel NXT is very diverse. But when those same athletes move from NXT to Raw and SmackDown, i.e., Carmelo Hayes, everybody likes to talk about Carmelo Hayes. They get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
So, how would you, as a black wrestler, fix the diversity issue that is on Raw and SmackDown?
Mm, that is a great question. I think um, to kind of sidetrack a little bit, I think, and I could be wrong. I definitely think that coming up is maybe a learning curve. Like maybe they want us to maybe tone it down a little bit. I could be wrong, but that's just like how I see it. But I
You
feel
bring
like
up
if
a good point. You bring up a good point. Sorry, not to cut you off. You bring up a good point because Javon Evans actually just said maybe about a month or so ago that they actually wanted him to tone it down because they didn't understand his style of lingo.
and I was
But
just getting oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
but they've actually Shawn Michaels, who runs NXT, has actually let him continue to talk the way he talks because he realizes that it actually resonates with people like me and you, people that look like Javon. It actually resonates with them. So Shawn Michaels has actually allowed him to keep doing that.
No, yeah, that's a great point because I was getting ready to say about Javon. Like how you said, like they want him to keep, doing what he's doing. But I think when you come to the main roster and there's like the CW and they were on USA, those are two completely different networks, so their visions might be a little different. You know what I mean? That's just the guess that that's just my opinion about uh you know the color African American wrestlers and wrestlers of color. You know what I mean? So um I do think that there's maybe a learning curve or like because like you said, Javon, like they want him to keep doing his thing to where he's a little bit more uh for lack of a better term, he's still a kid, you know what I mean? So he's gonna the script they give him is not gonna translate well if he says it the way they want him to say it. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's doing a great job. I do feel like when he eventually comes to the main roster, that there's definitely going to be slight adjustments. You know what I mean? Uh, because like you said with Carmelo Hayes, he's not doing the same thing he was doing at NXT. You know what I mean? He's not coming out, pouring one out for whoever he beat last week or just things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because that's probably not something they want on the other network. You know what I mean? That's just how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I've noticed, and a lot of people. I don't know if people have noticed that, like, he's not going around talking about that he's him anymore.
Yeah,
It's almost like he dropped that whole "I'm him" gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy because when you brought that up, I didn't really think about it, but when you brought it up and saying that he's had to adjust, I thought about it real quick. I'm like, you know what? He's right because he doesn't say "I'm him" and all that stuff anymore, like he was saying on NXT. So I feel like you're right. When Javon does move up, Triple H is probably going to have him do the opposite of what Shawn Michaels is letting him do, and probably going to try to make him change the way he talks. That's crazy to think about. That's
not
wild.
Miz because he was partnered with Miz Carmelo Hayes. Not to say he's like a bad mentor or because the work he did with Brian Danielson was obviously great, but like I think that was maybe a reason that he was paired with Miz, kind of to be like, we do it this way, or kind of showing him more of like the network of whatever they want on that side instead of the NXT and Sean wanting everyone to do their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's just that's crazy to think about. I'm glad you pointed that out because I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, I like that. Good one. That's a good one. You got anything else for him, Bars?
No, 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 no. I'm just enjoying the interview, man. Talking to the good brother. So I mean, whatever you got to close out, I mean, go right
What's
ahead.
your Waffle House order?
You know what's so crazy? I was just praying and wishing that Malcolm, for whatever reason, would come interview me. But the waffles with peanut butter, gotta have the peanut butter. Uh, maybe some chicken. The chicken's really good there. Um, Bacon, maybe 2 eggs, maybe 3 or 4. I love eggs. Um, and sometimes I go with I forget what it's called, but the bacon, egg, and cheese on the toast. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. And I'm putting syrup on everything.
Sounds nice and healthy.
You know what I mean?
Well, Mr. Dynamite, Is there anything you would like to plug for the good people that's listening to this now and is gonna be listening to it later?
Follow me on Instagram, Dynamite Jackson, Facebook, Damien Jackson. Come to Raleigh, the DCW Asylum, December 13th. Watch us retain the tag titles against the Dawsons. That Sunday after December 14th, I'll be at Christmas Chaos at the Four Seasons Mall. Yeah, and big things coming in 2026.
Y'all heard it here first. Big things popping in 2026 for the young brother of Mr. Damien Dynamite Jackson. So, we end every show on this one question.
Okay.
If you could see anybody on Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, this here show, who would it be? But Damien Jackson has to help us get that person on the show.
Oh, so anyone that I can get on the show, but I can help you get them on the show?
Yeah, anybody that you could help us get on the show. So, like, we asked this question to, was it Buff Bagwell last week? Mm-hmm. He said he was gonna say The Rock, but he was like, but I can't help you get The Rock.
I'm gonna have to go with my brother AC. I'm gonna have to go with my
brother. You know what's
AC.
funny? You know what's funny about that? Let me check something real quick, because I think that I have emailed him once before.
I think we did.
Let me see. AC. Yeah, I have him as acdivine0@gmail.com.
Okay. How recent was that?
That was let's see, it was October 10th.
Okay, so only reason I asked because he recently just got all his social media hacked, so there's a good chance he didn't see it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
Chance he didn't see it, so but I can pass that message on. I can definitely pass the message on.
Heck yeah, because October 10th. I think I might have saw his name. Has he been on Ashe?
No, I don't think so.
Where did I see his name? I saw his name somewhere. It'll come to me. But yeah. I've emailed him once before, so yeah, we would love to have him on.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I'll wait till we're off air. Well, that's all we got for you, Mr. Dynamite Jackson.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. We gratefully appreciate you for taking time out your busy schedule to come and chop it up with us. We hope that you don't make this your last time coming up in here. And when you come back next time, we need to see them belts. Dynamite 2 belts. Just like you said, we need to see Dynamite 2 belts.
Let's get a hashtag Dynamite 2 belts.
Okay, hashtag Dynamite 2 belts. We got you. Matter of fact, when this video drops on YouTube, I'm going to hashtag it Dynamite 2 belts. The interview, Dynamite 2 belts, you know? Yeah, we appreciate, the opportunity to sit here and chop it up with you, good brother. And we hope you don't make it your last. We definitely will be paying attention to your work, especially over there, DCW. And that's about that. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed the interview, and we'll be back with another one. Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast. Salute.
Yo, Robert Mason here, and the fire in this arena is unreal.
And I'm Molly Finwick. We are the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle commentary team, bringing nonstop action. And that wraps up another explosive edition of the podcast. Join us next week as the road to the championship continues.
This is the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, your home for real pro wrestling talk.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, we the champs. Thanks for listening. We gone.